After experiencing aperitivo hour in Italy, I'm travelling to Singapore to bring the tradition to the other side of the world. Now we'll get to discover some of the best local flavours through the personalities that define the city. The F1 circuit brings the best parties to the best cities. From city to city, I want to meet the people leading the charge in food, fashion and design. Everything is going to come together for a sunset aperitivo inspired by the city and hosted by me, Jack Guiness. It's a countdown to sundown. Singapore's a city more known for its big buildings and big business than it is for its fashion and nightlife. Being involved in the fashion world, I wanted to meet an insider who could show me what's happening beneath the surface. Nadia recently starred in a Marc Jacobs campaign and her career is really taking off, but she's also heavily involved in Singapore's underground scene. She's going to show me a bit of the music scene in Singapore and introduce me to some of her friends.
What makes Singapore so unique? What gives it an edge?
Well, I mean, definitely it's because we're so multicultural. Like, for example, my ethnic background is Malay, Arab and Indian.
And so then all these cultures are mixing together, and is that reflected in the nightlife?
There is an underground nightlife culture. For me personally, I like house and techno music. Once you know where to look, you can find cool places.
Well, that's why you're here. I need your help, because I've got no idea where to go.
There's a young community of chefs collaborating in Singapore, bringing different styles of cooking from around the world to a city known for its mix of culture and food. Bjorn's one of those chefs who's keen to import the best from different cultures around the world and make it his own.
So you're from Singapore?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Have you always lived here?
I've lived in Australia for a few years.
How did it influence your cooking?
The whole approach of using really good, really fresh food, knowing where it comes from.
Yes.
I think that's one thing that I told myself I had to do if I was going to come back to Singapore and open a restaurant. You know, I do what is called dude-stronomy.
Like gastronomy, but for dudes?
Gastronomy for bros. I got a few good friends who've opened a manwich shop. They thought that all the customers would be big burly guys, but it turns out that all the girls are going and eating these manwiches. The girls here are gnarly.
That's great. There's so many different cultures mixing together, and that seems like the strength of Singapore. Is that reflected in the food as well?
Everything here is a natural fusion. And so many new people are coming through and just adding more color to the landscape. That's fantastic.
Wow, the most amount of butter I've ever seen.
Butter plus more butter equals to more better.
You just like deep frying stuff. You work a lot with other guys to make your dude food. You collaborate, so you'll do pop-up restaurants with your mates.
You can eat my food at my restaurant, but when we get together, we cook something completely different. So that's what makes it so special.
So you're like a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. When you all come together, you make like a new super chef. You've managed to make everything taste like bacon. The mayo, you took a blowtorch to it, so it tasted a bit like bacon. The potatoes, you smoked them with apple wood, so they tasted like bacon. This is my dream. The flavours here are just as powerful as they were in Milan for aperitivo. This is my kind of food to have on a night out, and I think it's going to be perfect for tonight.
Nadia's taking me to Cult Gallery, one of the spaces where people outside of the big commercial galleries can exhibit their work.
We're a multidisciplinary studio. We have the gallery here.
Is it like a collective?
It's almost like a collective, yeah. So we've got our own database of artists that we kind of reach out to all the time, and they churn out really awesome work. Outside is Cult Cafe. We share the same name because essentially we share the same DNA of promoting underground culture, whether it's art, whether it's music, whether it's, spoken word poetry or just theatre in general.
So do you feel like having spaces like this encourages other people to get involved in the art scene?
Yeah, I mean, inspiration comes from all points, right? And what we forget is that spaces like this exist to inspire you, just bring people together that want to make good art.
One of her friends, Eileen, runs an underground techno night. We're going to meet her at one of the oldest record stores in the city.
What's your DJ name?
Cats on Crack. I started off playing disco, new disco, and then I guess I moved into house, and then now I play a lot more techno. For me, it's interesting because the more I dig, the more things I find. I guess I was quite lucky to be introduced to a lot of the local DJs and to learn from them. And then from there are also the international artists who are coming through to play at the big clubs here. You're exposed to, again, another sound.
Do you think the big international artists are coming here and coming to record stores like this?
For sure.
It's not just like, oh, let's go to that place and we go there every weekend. There are always things happening at different spaces, and it's like a pop-up culture.
All you get are the big clubs for a very long time. And people wanted something different. They start looking elsewhere for like a venue that is special.
My time in Singapore is nearly complete. It's almost sundown, and I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone again for the aperitivo hour. Tonight, I'm going to celebrate with a martini and tonic.
Yeah, I've got a really good sense of how Singaporeans live, the cultural landscape, what life is like for people. It all seems to come from the mishmash, from all different cultures. It's a really interesting place.
Beneath its clean facade, I've discovered a bustling and eclectic scene. From food to art and underground techno, I've learnt that there's more to this city than meets the eye. It's been great bringing together the city's range of local flavours to reimagine the aperitivo in a way that could only happen in Singapore. Let's see where the Formula One circuit takes us next.